Hi, I'm Kiara and I'll be presenting my persuasive speech today. In regard to death, people usually expect the means to be justified by the end, because the end must justify the means, or so we hope. When faced with death, you shouldn't want to beg, bargain, or bombard a higher being for more time, because more time isn't what you're typically asking for. Today, in reference to multiple scholarly peer-reviewed articles, I will be urging each member of the audience to sign my petition to legalize physician-assisted suicide as an end-of-life option for terminally ill patients within the state of Florida. To begin, terminally ill patients continuously fight for their lives. They're faced with the battle of attempting not to lose themselves, remaining positive, and tolerating unremitable pain and suffering. For instance, imagine waking up weaker than last week. The pain in your stomach and back growing excruciatingly worse. The pain originating in your stomach claws its way to your back as it's showing no signs of relief. For some, this is a bad day of cramps. However, for the patient experiencing this pain, this is another day battling pancreatic cancer. While terminally ill patients are fighting for their lives, we should be fighting to legalize physician-assisted suicide as an end-of-life option for them. The process in which a person dies is filled with uncertainty and fear. With that being said, I plan to come up with a way to have those patients, have the terminally ill patients have an option in which they don't have to sit there and experience pain over the years or watch themselves whittle away and lose their personality. They'll have another option, which would be physician-assisted suicide. In the state of Oregon, they have a bill called Death with Dignity, and it is a physician-assisted suicide bill. It practically explains that the patient that is terminally ill, diagnosed, has to be mentally competent, 18 years old or older, a resident of Oregon, have 6 months or less to live, and have a consent from one prescribing physician and one consenting physician. And the last requirement that the terminally ill patient must meet would be to have 2 oral requests and 1 written request. The oral request must be no less than 15 days apart. And that's in reference to Preston 2017. My plan is similar to Oregon's plan for their Death with Dignity bill. My plan for Florida would be to have the terminally ill patient be 18 years or older, mentally competent, have 1 prescribing physician and 1 consenting physician on the request, have 2 oral requests 15 days apart, and 1 written request. And the only thing that I would really modify about the Oregon's law would be that the patient must not have less than 6 months to live, but a year or less to live, giving them more of an option on what they would like to do. My proposed plan will benefit multiple terminally ill patients by providing more end-of-life options. Currently, physician-assisted suicide is legal in 10 U.S. states and the District of Columbia. Legalizing physician-assisted suicide will not affect the care of a terminally ill patient, but will provide more end-of-life options that were once not there, to include physician-assisted suicide. During the process of caring for a patient, or for instance, during the process of caring for a patient with cancer, whether it's terminal or not, physicians don't force a patient to continue on with chemotherapy. If the patient chooses not to continue chemotherapy, it is that patient's choice. They have the option to choose that, whether or not it affects their life, whether or not they only have a week or 6 months. It's not the place of the physician to push the choice. In reference to Nelson, Colligan, TJ, 2015. This example shows that the physician shouldn't push what the patient feels that is ready for them as their end-of-life options. After evaluating the benefits of allowing a terminally ill patient to decide their best end-of-life options. Let's wrap up. I've discussed the need to continue to fight for a terminally ill patient to have the choice on what they would like to choose as their end-of-life options. My plan to create a bill for the state of Florida for terminally ill patients, and the benefits for more end-of-life options to include physician-assisted suicide. With all that have been said, I urge each person within the audience to sign my petition to legalize physician-assisted suicide as an alternative end-of-life option for terminally ill patients within the state of Florida. The petition and soon-to-be bill, with enough support, will not affect the patient or the way they will be treated or cared for, but provide them with more of an option on how they would like to spend their last days, spend the time they have with their family, and pass away in a memory that is best represented of them. I urge each person to sign this petition not only to continue on the advancement of medicine, but help terminally ill patients have a choice in their medical treatment and the care that they receive. Thank you.